This is student Eliza, register number URK24CS1008. So in this video, I'll be demonstrating experiment 2 where I use the solar radiation dataset CSV file in Pandas. So for the first question, I import the Pandas library, then I upload the CSV file using Google Colab and read it using the read CSV function. Finally, as you can see, the dataset is displayed. Next, using the head function, I display the first 10 rows of the dataset. Using the tail function, I display the last 8 rows of the dataset. The info function provides information such as the total number of entries, the column names, non-null values, and the data type of each column. Using columns, I display all the column names present in the dataset. And here, the shape attribute displays the total number of rows and columns in the dataset. The describe function, as shown, displays the statistical summary of all numerical columns, including the count, mean, minimum value, and etc. The dtypes attribute displays the data type every column in the dataset. Now in this question, we have to check for null values. So using is null.values.any, I check whether the dataset contains any missing values. And next, I use is null.sum, where I display the number of null values present in each column. To impute the null values, first I select all numeric columns. Then I replace the missing values in each numeric column with the mean of that column using the fill NA option. Finally, the dataset is displayed. Here for dataset slicing, the maximum temperature column from the dataset is displayed. Here I display the multiple columns together from the dataset. And using iloc, I display a single row based on its index position. Using iloc again, I display multiple rows from index 2 to index 6. In this question, the log function is used to access rows using their labels or index values. Here I display both a single row and multiple rows. Similarly, iloc is used to access rows based on integer positions. Here again, the rows are displayed. Then here I create a new column called average temp by calculating the average of the minimum and maximum temperatures. Using the apply function here, I calculate the temperature range for every row and store it in a new column. In the next question, I use the built-in max function along with apply to create a new column containing the highest temperature for each row. And here I create a new row with sample values and add it to the end of the dataset. After displaying the updated dataset, I delete the last row using drop function. This code sorts the dataset in ascending order, and the next code sorts the dataset in the descending order. Here I group the dataset by altitude and calculate the average radiation. Next, I group the dataset using both altitude and latitude and calculate the average solar radiation. Using the pivot table function here, I create a table that displays the average solar radiation for each altitude. And finally, we will put the integration. Here we have the average RAM column, minimum RAM column. Here is the maximum rank column, and here is the first rank column. With this, I complete my experiment 2 on solar radiation dataset using Pandas. Thank you.